But this is a man who is not surrendered to power. Noam, it's great to have you on this platform. Welcome.
Very pleased to be with you. It's a privilege.
You know, Noam, before the election in the United States last year, you had said and others had said, look, we want to see the back. We really want to see the back of Donald Trump. Nobody really could disagree with that. Now, the United States is led by President Joe Biden. Things, at least in foreign policy, seem unchanged. What's your sense 100 days into Biden's term? What's your sense of the United States under Biden, particularly regarding the world?
Well, I should say that one important thing that's happened in the United States is a very substantial growth of dedicated activism. On the domestic scene, it's plenty of problems, but it's much better than I expected. Foreign policy, nothing changed. On issue after issue, Biden has simply picked up Trump's policies. The most striking example is Iran. On Iran, Trump, of course, pulled out of the joint agreement on nuclear weapons in violation of Security Council orders. He initiated, as in Venezuela, Cuba, other countries, initiated very harsh sanctions to try to torture the population. Everyone knows that the sanctions have nothing to do with the leadership. They torture the population in an attempt to somehow get them to do something to overthrow a leadership the United States doesn't like. It's particularly savage in the case of Iran because it's coupled with an attack on the country which is suffering from a pandemic. And we should say that this is uniform across the world. And sometimes the savagery is so petty that it's hard even to discuss. So, for example, in Brazil is a catastrophe, the world's worst catastrophe. They don't have, because of the Trump clone, Bolsonaro, they don't even have vaccines. So what did the US do? Pressured the Brazilian government not to use Russian vaccines, which are available, because we have to make sure that what's called this malign influence doesn't spread in the Western Hemisphere. At the same time, the US government pressured Panama not to accept Cuban doctors, because we can't allow this malign influence to spread through the precious Western Hemisphere, free democratic Western Hemisphere, which we run. These things are almost more revealing than overthrowing governments and installing a military dictatorship. I mean, that you can kind of at least understand from an imperial perspective. But why deprive people dying of a serious disease, deprive them of the minimal opportunities to have some escape, because it might mean they're using a Russian vaccine or being treated by a Cuban doctor?